Partly as a result of flattened hierarchies, delayering, and re-engineering, employers expect managers to do more with less. That means keeping track of multiple ongoing projects. What often happens, however, is that managers complain that there is not enough time to do all that is asked, and find themselves buried under the proverbial mountain of paperwork. While this may present an amusing picture for the cartoon pages, it is not one that elicits chuckles in the office for long. When the files are in disarray and the leader is unsure of the status of any project, he or she is in trouble. Consider this. Bob is responsible for tracking a client survey. His boss, in Hawaii for 10 days on an executive development seminar, calls in for a status report. Bob's response is, "Hello, boss. Yes? How is it in Hawaii? Enjoying the pina coladas? The client survey, yeah, I guess it's going okay. I don't know, I haven't talked to Martha about it in a couple weeks. She was supposed to call me and she didn't. Fred? I don't know. He was supposed to do the survey and I haven't heard from him in a little while. Oh, Harry, yeah, gee, I don't know. Can I get back to you? Can you leave me the number where you are?" Not too impressive. This scenario shows a team without leadership, a ship without a rudder. The result is missed deadlines, project overruns, and angry clients. Not a pretty picture. Nor will it bode confidence in management, and certainly not one that evokes a high level of confidence within the team or outside of it. There is a common saying that perception is everything. It works in politics, it surely works in business. Employees want to feel secure in their environment, perhaps now more than ever. And despite all this talk of the invasion of the individualist in organizations, and of the attendant loss of the patriarchal structure, employees feel secure when they perceive their leader is in control of his or her surroundings. As always, the mantle of leadership should never be taken lightly. The fortunes of the leader impact the team. As goes the leader, so goes the team. Their value in the organization is often measured by the leader's ability to guide the team to a high level of performance. It is unacceptable for the professional leader not to have at his or her fingertips where everybody is, what everybody is working on, and how close to completion every single project is. Those in leadership positions who say they can't keep track of everything should not be professional leaders. Common problems. Managers and supervisors have a responsibility to monitor and control the workload in their workplace. For many, this is a daunting task, given that there seems to be more work to do than there are hours in the day. Coupled with the actual work to be done are the seemingly never-ending problems which crop up in an average workday. There are many common problems that management can experience with employees when attempting to control the workload. Mistakes. Managers experience too many mistakes. For example, adding something up wrong, typographical errors in reports, short shipments to customers, etc. Won't listen. Managers must repeat instructions to staff. Cranky. Employees come to work in a bad mood and are disruptive to others. Time abuse. Employees miss deadline dates. They are absent frequently and late often. Unproductive. Some employees are not meeting the same production numbers as others in the same department. Poor quality. Employees develop shabby work habits and substandard production is the result. No respect. The manager gives an assignment to staff, but they simply saunter off and give the impression they didn't hear the instructions. Work must be monitored and controlled to get the job done. If the job doesn't get done, the organization doesn't benefit, and therefore, neither do any of the managers or employees. Delegating and controlling through action plans and progress reviews. Action plans. Leadership means knowing how to delegate, monitor, and control the workload through action plans, progress reviews, and timelines. Action plans define the activities that will be undertaken in order to achieve objectives. Action plans may be developed by the team leader and team members together or may be delegated completely to the team to develop. Putting action plan objectives down on paper gives the leader and his or her team members a map of actions to be completed, a record of expectations, and ensures that each person understands his or her role to achieve the end goal. Once objectives and performance standards have been agreed to, the action planning process is a decision-making process. Alternative ways of achieving the objectives are defined, evaluated, and selected. In some situations, the team leader may want to be involved in this process to contribute knowledge and expertise and to provide necessary assistance and direction to individual team members. In other situations, the team leader may have confidence in the team member's ability to decide how to achieve objectives and will delegate to the team the responsibility of developing the action plan. In this case, the team member should ensure that the team leader is made aware of what their action plans are and given the opportunity to react to them. Progress reviews. Keeping the team leader informed is a key part of any job. To do this, it must be determined what the team leader needs or wants to know, how the team leader wants to know, process or format, and when the team leader wants to know. Objectives, performance standards, and action plans help identify what the leader needs to know. At the end of the objective setting process, specific plans must be established for conducting progress reviews. For each team member's objectives, dates and progress reviews must be defined and included in the team member's action plan. The team member should be clear on what information will be required for the progress review. Using the customer service example, please refer to the action plan handout for this module as an example of a simple action plan which the manager of customer service could use. Timelines. Timelines are an integral part of not only progress reviews, but of the action plan as well. Though other names are used, hand charts, program evaluation review technique, PERT charts, milestone charts, and a host of names that management gurus and academics create, they have similar purposes: to chart out an ideal action plan with start and completion dates. The objective is to give the professional leader control of the project. Please refer to the Conduct Client Survey handout from this module. This handout is an example of how the client survey would be plotted on a timeline. This is a simple example, but look at what it can do for the manager. If a customer were to call, or the vice president calls to ask if the orders were processed, does the manager know? Is he or she in contact? Of course, the manager knows that Harry is processing orders and will be done by 2 p.m. Even this simple example will show who is doing what and when. One axiom that managers should remember is people get promoted partly because they appear to be in control. One of the rules of project management is every activity is a project and every routine is a project. Planning daily, weekly, or monthly will control the workload. Employees also have needs, like wanting to be involved, feeling like they belong, and having input to workplace issues and processes. What better way than working with them to establish action plans for the daily or weekly or monthly workload? Managers are responsible to get the job done to meet the department's objectives and ultimately the organization's objectives. Plans and progress reviews. For team members who have a track record of dependability, one progress review is enough. For new or not so dependable team members, the team leader may have to establish many more progress reviews before the milestone is reached. A control point has been set for Sally on January 25th for a progress review with the team leader. When do you want to know if problems arise? If Sally has a problem, do you want to know at the next milestone? No. You establish a control point for a progress review to make sure the milestone is met. If you have a reliable, good employee, you may not need many control points. In these cases, don't call them control points, call them communication points. How long will your employee remain a good employee without communication? Not very long. Always maintain lines of communication. Why do we need controls? We want it done. We also want it done right the first time. We can't continually go back and repeat instructions. We have to ensure that those carrying out the work meet the organization's goals. Another tip: get employees involved in setting timelines and give them a copy. Team leaders have reported that when they applied these methods, their employees were usually harder on themselves than the team leader could ever be. Team leaders and employees must establish action plans using timelines to meet organizational objectives. Remember, employees must not be allowed to input their attitudes, values, and beliefs into action planning. If a uniform approach is not used, little empires are created. There are no common objectives to meet organizational goals, and there's no consistency. Here's a helpful hint for team leaders. If there's a group of people with shared responsibilities, Establish one person as a prime to represent the group and report on timelines. If there's any grumbling about the primeship from others, rotate the people. Someone must be responsible for reporting to the boss. Remember, for the team leader, progress reviews are simply mini performance reviews or appraisals. If timelines are plotted, progress reviews are scheduled, and problems arise, new timelines must be simply plotted. Think of a coach of a football or hockey team. If things aren't going well between quarters or periods, they make adjustments and formulate new action plans. Take some time now to complete exercise 1 from this module on action plans. In closing, one of the most common misconceptions is that an employee owns the job that he or she is doing. The organization owns the job. Those in the jobs are keepers of the objectives. Some can do the job and some can't, but the job still has to be done. Action plans must be established to organize the workload and meet the objectives. Progress reviews are derived from action plans, and they are to review results, get feedback, and keep communication lines open. Always keep communication lines open. A formal performance review or appraisal recaps the hits and misses throughout the year.